Chapter 1. The Unseen Spark. In the fading light of twilight, DJ wandered along the familiar path that skirted the edge of Thornwick, where the village's thatched roofs gave way to the dense embrace of the ancient forest. The air carried the rich, earthy scent of moss and pine needles, mingled with the distant hum of manna that pulsed through every living thing, a subtle vibration that reminded him of the world's hidden wonders. At 13 years old, DJ possessed a lanky frame that spoke of growth yet to come, his black hair tousled by the evening breeze and his green eyes reflecting the deepening shadows with an unusual intensity. While the other children in the village square laughed and practiced their spells, summoning bursts of flame to light the dusk or conjuring gentle winds to race one another, he preferred this solitude where no one could judge the strange sensations stirring within him. "Why must I always feel so out of place?" he wondered aloud, his voice barely rising above a whisper as he settled onto a gnarled root that twisted like an old man's finger from the forest floor. The shadows around him seemed to respond, lengthening and curling in ways that defied the setting sun's logic. He extended his hand, palm upward, and concentrated. "Come on, show yourself properly this time," he murmured, his brow furrowing in determination. A faint wisp of darkness coiled around his fingers, cool and elusive, like smoke from a dying fire that refused to dissipate entirely. His heart quickened with exhilaration and unease. For weeks now, these fleeting manifestations had plagued him, shadows that bent to his will, responding to his emotions in ways no other magic seemed to do. Fire mages could ignite hearths with a snap. Water wielders drew streams from the air to quench thirst, and healers knit wounds with glowing palms. But shadows, they were his alone, a unique gift that filled him with insecurity rather than pride. "If anyone knew, they might think I'm strange, or worse, that I'm hiding something unnatural." Thornwick itself was a testament to the world's transformation, a quaint settlement where magic had supplanted the relics of a bygone era. Tales from elders spoke of towering machines that once roared across vast roads or soared through the skies, but such inventions had faded into obscurity when mana awakened in every soul. Why rely on cumbersome contraptions when one could sprint faster than any horse or heal ailments with a mere touch? Castles now dotted the landscape, their stone walls etched with protective runes that fluttered eternally in unseen winds. DJ's father, Bruce, often shared fragments of those old stories during quiet evenings by the hearth, his deep voice weaving a tapestry of lost wonders. Yet for DJ, this magical reality was all he had ever known, and it made his shadowy affinity feel like an outlier, a secret he guarded fiercely out of fear that it might set him apart forever. From the vantage point of the modest cottage on Thornwick's outskirts, Bruce paused in his task of chopping firewood, the axe poised mid-swing as he sensed his son's lingering absence. "Where has that boy wandered off to this time?" he muttered, wiping a bead of sweat from his brow with the back of his hand. At 45, Bruce cut an imposing figure, tall and broad-shouldered, with a chiseled jawline and storm blue eyes that could pierce through deception like lightning through clouds. His dark hair, threaded with silver, framed a face that turned heads in every village he passed through, though he paid such attention little mind. To the world, he was an SS-ranked Thunder Mage, a mercenary commander who led his clan into battles for hire, living a humble life in their simple one-room home. But in truth, he harbored a greater secret. His power reached SSS levels, allowing him to dissolve into electric particles for blinding speed and to detect threats through an invisible static field extending 10 meters in all directions. He concealed this strength to evade the obligations that came with such rank, service to haughty lords who prioritized their own safety over the plight of the common folk. Instead, Bruce channeled his earnings into aiding the needy, donating anonymously to orphans and widows, ensuring his life remained unencumbered by opulence or duty. "DJ's been distant lately," he reflected, resuming his swings with rhythmic precision. That haunted look in his eyes, It's like looking at myself as a young man, burying my true potential. DJ! Bruce called out, his voice carrying like a roll of distant thunder across the path. DJ startled. The shadow wisp vanished as he scrambled to his feet. "Coming, Dad!" he shouted back, forcing a casual tone while his mind raced. He can't suspect anything. Not until I master this. Bruce set the axe aside and crossed his arms, his static field picking up the faint tremor in DJ's approaching footsteps. "You've been slipping away every evening," he said as his son emerged from the trees. "What's troubling you, boy? And don't say it's nothing. I can see it in your eyes." "Just thinking about magic, Dad. Everyone else's seems so straightforward. Fire to warm, water to quench. Mine feels different. Can we train tomorrow? I want to get stronger, show you what I mean." Bruce's expression softened, a warm smile breaking through his concern. "Of course, son. Training it is. But promise me, no more venturing alone into those woods after dark. The forest holds dangers even magic can't always foresee." DJ nodded, relief mingling with guilt. "I promise." Yet inwardly he knew he couldn't stop. "I have to understand this before it slips away or consume me." That night, under the cover of darkness, DJ stole deeper into the forest than ever before, the moon's silver glow filtering through the canopy like threads of enchanted silk. The air grew cooler, thicker, carrying the faint rustle of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. He knelt in a secluded clearing, the ground soft with fallen needles, and closed his eyes. "Show me what you're capable of," he whispered, to the shadows pooling at his feet. A tendril rose, wavering, like a flame in the wind. "Steady now," he urged, shaping it with his will, first into a sharp blade that sliced cleanly through a low-hanging branch, then into a protective shield that absorbed the impact of a thrown stone. Each manipulation drew on his mana, a warm flow that ebbed like a receding tide, leaving him breathless but exhilarated. It's too wild, he realized, feeling the shadows linger unnaturally on the grass. I need something to keep them in check. Experimenting, he condensed the thin ring of darkness around his wrist, a delicate loop that hummed faintly, containing the excess energy without exhausting him. Yes, he breathed, admiring its stability. A shadow ring to hold it all together. But his triumph was short-lived. A sudden snap echoed through the clearing and DJ's eyes snapped open. "Who's there?" he called out, his voice trembling. From the underbrush emerged a shape. Low and sleek, its form cloaked in shifting shadows that made it blend seamlessly with the night. Its eyes gleamed like cold steel, fixed on him with predatory intent. The beast lunged without warning, its claws extended like obsidian daggers. DJ dove out of the way, the claws lightly grazing his arm as blood welled from the shallow marks. I need to move, he thought frantically. Stop panicking and get clear. His heart pounded like a war drum, but he forced himself to focus, rolling to his feet as the creature circled. You won't take me that easily, he muttered through gritted teeth. The shadows responded to his desperation, erupting from his fingertips in twisting serpents that lashed out. The beast hesitated, its eyes narrowing. Now! He thrust his hand forward, a jagged tendril piercing its chest with a guttural cry that echoed through the trees. The shadows coiled tighter, dragging the creature backward into the encroaching darkness until it was swallowed whole, its final screech fading into silence. DJ collapsed to his knees, his breath coming in ragged gasps as sweat mingled with the blood on his arm. I survived, he whispered, staring at his trembling hands where faint dark energy still lingered. The shadow ring pulsed steadily, a reassuring anchor. This power, it's mine. And it's not a curse, it's just me. I can control it. Yet doubt lingered, a whisper in his mind. But what if Father sees it differently? Unbeknownst to him, Mara, the village healer, had wandered nearby in search of rare herbs, her basket slung over one arm. That scream. What in the world? She murmured, peering through the foliage. She caught sight of DJ surrounded by dissipating wisps of black, his face a mask of exhaustion and triumph. Shadows. The boy's got a rare gift, that's all. Not cursed, just unique. Bruce has been kind to us all these years. I won't spread tales that could harm his kin. Best to leave it be.
She decided, slipping away quietly into the night. Back at the cottage, Bruce was sharpening a knife by the flickering hearth when DJ slipped in, clutching his injured arm. "What happened to you, boy?" Bruce demanded, rising swiftly. "Just a fall in the woods," DJ replied, avoiding his father's gaze. "Nothing serious." Bruce's eyes narrowed, his static field detecting the lie in the boy's uneven pulse. "We'll discuss this tomorrow during training. No more secrets, DJ. You're my son. Whatever it is, we'll face it together." As DJ lay in bed that night, the shadow ring a comforting weight on his wrist, he stared at the ceiling. He's right, he thought. I can't hide forever. But now, with this ring, I feel ready, stronger. Sleep came slowly, filled with dreams of darkness and light intertwining. Bruce, too, lay awake, his mind churning. The boy's concealing something powerful, he reflected, like I did at his age. Tomorrow I'll draw it out, not to judge, but to guide. He's all I have, and I'll protect him no matter what.